The comeback is personal. There's a moment in every life, a pivotal crossroads, when the weight of failure bears down like a storm you can't escape. It might be a failed relationship, a lost career, or even a betrayal by the very people or systems you trusted. These moments feel overwhelming, like the universe conspiring against you. But let me tell you something fundamental: the comeback is personal. This isn't about proving anyone wrong. It's not about vengeance or validation from others. It's about reclaiming yourself piece by piece from the wreckage. And the first step is accountability. Look at your life brutally and honestly. Not to blame, but to understand. Where did you falter? What could you have done better? Growth begins when you own your part, no matter how small it may seem. Adversity is a brutal, unyielding teacher. But in its depths lies wisdom most people spend their lives avoiding. The pain? It's instructive. It strips away the superficial, leaving only what truly matters. But to learn from it, you must confront it head-on. Denial is the enemy of progress. Rebuilding isn't glamorous. It's not some dramatic transformation overnight. It's waking up every single day and doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. The comeback is built in the small, seemingly insignificant choices showing up, working harder, thinking clearer, and refusing to surrender to despair. And here's the truth: the real battle is within you. The world isn't your competition, your past self is. That voice that tells you it's too late, you're not good enough, that's your adversary. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, you silence that voice. But to truly endure the process, you need something greater than yourself, a purpose. What are you fighting for? Is it to be a better parent, a stronger leader, or simply to honor the potential you know exists within you? A comeback without purpose is a hollow victory. The comeback is not just about regaining what you've lost. It's about redefining who you are. The person you'll become through this struggle will be wiser, tougher, and more compassionate. You'll emerge not just with scars, but with the knowledge of how to wield your pain as a tool for growth. So let today be the day you decide. The past may be etched in stone, but the future is a canvas, waiting for you to pick up the brush. The comeback is personal, and the power to make it happen lies entirely within you. Accountability and ownership form the cornerstone of any meaningful transformation, especially when navigating the challenges of a comeback. To take responsibility for your circumstances, even when they feel insurmountable or unfair, is an act of profound courage and maturity. It requires looking at your situation not with a lens of blame or self-pity, but with one of clarity and purpose. This isn't about assigning fault to yourself in a way that paralyzes action, but rather acknowledging where you have agency, even in the smallest ways, to affect change. To be accountable is to recognize that no matter the external forces that contributed to your downfall, there is almost always an element of your control within the equation. It may not be the central cause, but it exists. Perhaps it was a decision you made, a warning sign you ignored, or a habit you allowed to persist unchecked. It's human nature to want to shield ourselves from such painful realizations. After all, admitting you played a role in your own suffering is one of the hardest things to do. But it's also the only way to begin taking back control. When you refuse accountability, you relinquish power. You create a narrative where you are merely a victim of circumstance, helpless against the tides of life. While this may feel comforting in the short term, it's a dangerous mindset. Without ownership, there can be no true agency, no capacity to direct your path forward. When you attribute all your struggles to others, to an unkind boss, an unfair system, or even sheer bad luck, you chain yourself to the belief that your destiny lies in someone else's hands. Accountability, however, is not synonymous with self-flagellation. It's not about wallowing in guilt or shame, which are emotions that can quickly become paralyzing. Instead, it's about honest reflection. It's about examining your life with a level of detachment that allows you to see things as they are, not worse than they are, not better than they are, but exactly as they are. This clarity is essential. It gives you the foundation on which to build your next steps. To take ownership also means shifting your mindset from one of entitlement to one of responsibility. Life does not owe you success, happiness, or comfort. These are things you must earn, often through struggle and perseverance. While this reality may seem harsh, It's also liberating. If you are not entitled to an easy path, then neither are you condemned to a difficult one. Everything becomes a matter of effort, choice, and determination. This process demands humility. It requires you to admit your imperfections, to confront the ways you may have sabotaged your own success. It might involve recognizing that you didn't prepare adequately, that you avoided taking a necessary risk, or that you let fear dictate your actions. These admissions are not signs of weakness but of strength. They show that you are willing to learn, to adapt, and to grow. Owning your setbacks doesn't mean you bear sole responsibility for every misfortune in your life. There are circumstances beyond your control, an illness, an economic downturn, or a betrayal by someone you trusted. These things are real, and acknowledging their impact is valid, but even in these situations, there is a space where your influence remains. How did you respond? What choices did you make in the aftermath? These are the questions that accountability asks. The beauty of accountability is that it transforms pain into potential. When you own your story, you gain the ability to rewrite it. You are no longer stuck in a narrative where things happen to you. Instead, you become an active participant in shaping your future. Every mistake becomes a lesson, every setback an opportunity to prove your resilience. This mindset does not come naturally to most people. It requires practice and persistence. Start small. Reflect on a recent failure and ask yourself, what could I have done differently, not what went wrong, but what was within my control that I could change next time? This subtle shift in perspective can have a profound impact. Over time, it cultivates a habit of responsibility, one that becomes second nature. In taking accountability, you also model a powerful example for others. You show that strength is not about avoiding failure, but about confronting it head on. This inspires trust, respect, and admiration. People gravitate toward those who take ownership because it demonstrates integrity and character. Ultimately, accountability is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that your life is worth the effort it takes to improve. It's a refusal to let circumstances dictate your future. And most importantly, it's the first and most vital step in any true comeback. Without it, progress remains elusive. With it, the possibilities are limitless. Adversity is a universal experience, an inescapable facet of life that touches everyone in different forms. While it can feel devastating, even insurmountable, adversity has the potential to be one of the most transformative forces you will ever encounter. It strips away pretense, reveals truth, and forces a confrontation with yourself that you might otherwise avoid. The depths of adversity, as overwhelming as they may seem, contain lessons that cannot be found in comfort or ease. When adversity strikes, it often arrives with an intensity that feels unmanageable. It disrupts your sense of stability and challenges your confidence in the future. It can leave you questioning your worth, your abilities, and even your purpose. These feelings, though painful, are not unusual. They are the natural response to significant challenges. But what defines a person is not the adversity itself, but how they choose to engage with it. The initial shock of hardship often brings with it a desire to escape. This is a survival instinct, a natural reaction to pain. People look for ways to distract themselves, to rationalize their experiences, or to assign blame to external forces. And while these reactions may offer temporary relief, they do not lead to growth. Growth requires that you sit with the discomfort, that you face the pain and ask what it has to teach you. Adversity forces you to confront the fragility of life, the limits of your control, and the unpredictability of existence. These realizations, though daunting, are also liberating. They strip away illusions and allow you to see life for what it truly is, a series of challenges, opportunities, and choices. In this clarity, you begin to understand that adversity, as unwelcome as it may feel, is an integral part of the human experience. It is not a sign that something has gone wrong, but a reminder that life is dynamic and ever-changing. In the depths of adversity, you learn the importance of resilience. Resilience is not simply the ability to endure, it is the capacity to adapt, to learn, and to grow stronger in the face of difficulty. Resilience is built through repeated exposure to challenges, through the recognition that even when you feel broken, there is always a way forward. It is not about denying the pain, but about finding the strength to carry it with you as you move ahead. Adversity also teaches you about perspective. It forces you to reevaluate what truly matters in your life. When everything seems to fall apart, you gain a clearer understanding of the values, relationships, and goals that are worth holding on to. This clarity can be a gift, helping you to let go of superficial concerns and focus on what brings meaning and fulfillment. One of the most profound lessons of adversity is the realization of your own strength. In the moment, it can be difficult to see, but every time you survive a hardship, you prove to yourself that you are capable of enduring more than you believed possible. This knowledge becomes a reservoir of courage that you can draw upon in future challenges. It reminds you that while life may knock you down, it cannot keep you there unless you allow it to. Adversity also reveals the importance of community. While the struggle is deeply personal, it is often through the support of others that you find the strength to persevere. This support can come in many forms: a kind word, a helping hand, or simply the presence of someone who believes in you when you struggle to believe in yourself. Adversity fosters empathy, reminding you of the shared nature of human suffering and the ways in which we can uplift one another. Another key aspect of adversity is its ability to spark creativity and innovation. When you are forced out of your comfort zone, you must find new ways to navigate the world. Adversity challenges you to think differently, to adapt, and to develop skills and solutions that you might never have considered in easier times. This process can lead to profound personal and professional growth, as you discover capabilities within yourself that were previously untapped. Lastly, adversity has a way of deepening your appreciation for life. When you emerge from a difficult period, you often find that you value the simple joys and moments of peace in ways you never did before. The contrast between hardship and happiness makes the latter all the more precious. This appreciation fosters a sense of gratitude, which can be a powerful source of motivation and contentment moving forward. The depths of adversity are not something anyone would choose to enter willingly, but when life inevitably brings you there, you have a choice to view the experience as a curse or as an opportunity. Adversity is not the end of the story, it is the middle, the place where transformation begins. It is where you learn who you are, what you stand for, and what you are capable of achieving. It is the crucible that forges strength, wisdom, and character, preparing you for the brighter chapters that lie ahead. Incremental growth is the often overlooked foundation of any meaningful progress. When people think about transformation or success, they tend to imagine grand, sweeping changes, sudden breakthroughs, or dramatic turnarounds. However, the truth is much more grounded. Real growth is built through small, deliberate steps taken consistently over time. These incremental improvements may seem insignificant in the moment, but they compound, creating a powerful momentum that can lead to extraordinary outcomes. The challenge with incremental growth lies in its subtlety. It doesn't deliver instant gratification. The results are not immediately visible, and this can be discouraging in a world that celebrates quick wins and overnight success. However, those who understand the value of steady progress recognize that it is the most reliable and sustainable path to achieving lasting change. Incremental growth is not glamorous, but it is transformative. To embrace incremental growth, you must first shift your mindset. This means letting go of the expectation that success will come quickly or easily. It requires patience and the willingness to trust the process, even when the rewards are not immediately apparent. Instead of focusing on the end goal, you learn to appreciate the journey itself, recognizing that every small step forward is a victory in its own right. One of the greatest advantages of incremental growth is that it makes large, daunting challenges manageable. When you are faced with a seemingly insurmountable task, breaking it down into smaller, more achievable parts allows you to make progress without becoming overwhelmed. Each small accomplishment builds your confidence and reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. Over time, these small victories accumulate, leading to significant progress that would have felt impossible at the outset. Another critical aspect of incremental growth is its ability to create lasting habits. When you focus on small, consistent actions, you establish patterns of behavior that become ingrained over time. These habits, once formed, require less effort to maintain and can lead to exponential growth. For example, committing to just 10 minutes of exercise each day may not seem impactful initially, but over months and years, it can transform your health and fitness. Similarly, setting aside a small amount of time each day to read or learn can lead to a wealth of knowledge and skills that compound over a lifetime. Incremental growth also fosters resilience. Because it is built on consistent effort rather than sudden leaps, it teaches you to persevere through setbacks and challenges. When progress is gradual, you develop the ability to adapt to obstacles and keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult. This resilience is a critical factor in achieving long-term success, as it enables you to stay committed to your goals despite inevitable difficulties. The power of incremental growth lies not only in its ability to help you achieve your goals, but also in the way it transforms your identity. As you consistently take small actions toward your desired outcome, you begin to see yourself differently. You start to identify as someone who is disciplined, committed, and capable. This shift in self-perception reinforces your efforts and motivates you to continue growing. It's also important to understand that incremental growth is not linear. There will be times when progress seems slow or non-existent, and it may feel like your efforts are not making a difference. This is a natural part of the process. Growth often occurs in fits and starts, with periods of stagnation followed by sudden breakthroughs. These breakthroughs are not random, they are the result of the foundation you have built through consistent effort. Another key principle of incremental growth is the idea of focusing on the process rather than the outcome. When you prioritize the actions you can control showing up, putting in the work, and improving incrementally, you remove the pressure of achieving immediate results. This shift in focus allows you to stay motivated and avoid the frustration that can arise when progress feels slow. By trusting the process, you give yourself the best chance of success in the long term. Incremental growth also has a profound impact on your mental and emotional well-being. By setting small, achievable goals and celebrating your progress along the way, you cultivate a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. This positive reinforcement creates a feedback loop that encourages further effort and growth. Moreover, the discipline and consistency required for incremental growth build self-respect and confidence, which are invaluable qualities in all areas of life. Incremental growth teaches you the importance of time. It shows you that meaningful change is not about dramatic transformations, but about the steady accumulation of effort over weeks, months, and years. This perspective helps you to be patient and to recognize that the most worthwhile achievements often take the longest to realize. It is a reminder that the journey itself is as important as the destination. In a world that often prioritizes speed and instant results, incremental growth stands as a quiet but powerful alternative. It is a testament to the enduring value of patience, persistence, and discipline. By focusing on small, consistent improvements, you can overcome even the greatest challenges and achieve success that is both meaningful and sustainable. Through incremental growth, you not only reach your goals, but also become the kind of person who is capable of achieving even more. The concept of the inner competitor is a profound and personal battle that lies at the core of self-improvement. It is the realization that your greatest opponent is not the external world, not the circumstances you face, nor the people who doubt or oppose you. Instead, your true adversary resides within your own doubts, fears, and limitations. Understanding this is key to unlocking your potential, because when you focus on overcoming yourself rather than external forces, you gain unparalleled power to grow, adapt, and succeed. The inner competitor is subtle and complex. It manifests in the quiet moments of indecision, the nagging voice of self-doubt, and the persistent lure of comfort over effort. It whispers that you aren't good enough, that it's too late to start, or that the effort required isn't worth the reward. This voice, though pervasive, is not an enemy to be silenced outright, but a challenge to be embraced. It is in confronting and overcoming this inner resistance that the greatest victories are won. The inner competitor is shaped by your past experiences, habits, and perceptions. It reflects the narratives you've internalized about yourself, whether they come from upbringing, societal expectations, or previous failures. If left unchecked, it can trap you in a cycle of self-limiting beliefs, preventing you from reaching your full potential. Recognizing this is the first step toward change. You must develop the ability to discern when your thoughts are serving you and when they are holding you back. Taking on your inner competitor requires self-awareness. You need to understand your triggers, the situations or challenges that cause you to doubt yourself or retreat into comfort. This awareness allows you to anticipate the moments when your inner competitor is likely to emerge, giving you the opportunity to prepare and respond effectively. It also involves identifying patterns in your behavior, such as procrastination, avoidance, or self-sabotage that indicate the presence of this internal struggle. The process of overcoming your inner competitor is not about eliminating fear or doubt altogether. These emotions are a natural part of being human, and they often arise when you are stepping out of your comfort zone. Instead, it is about learning to coexist with them, to acknowledge their presence without allowing them to dictate your actions. This requires cultivating a mindset of courage and determination, where you are willing to act in spite of your fears rather than waiting for them to disappear. One of the most effective ways to challenge your inner competitor is to focus on small, consistent actions that build momentum over time. When you set achievable goals and follow through on them, you begin to undermine the voice that tells you you're incapable. Each success, no matter how small, reinforces your belief in your ability to grow and improves your confidence. Over time, these small wins accumulate, creating a sense of mastery that helps you to silence the doubts and fears that once held you back. The inner competitor also thrives on comparison. It encourages you to measure yourself against others, to focus on their successes and perceive them as evidence of your inadequacy. To overcome this, you must shift your focus inward. Your only true measure of progress is your past self. Are you better today than you were yesterday? Are you closer to your goals than you were last week, last month, or last year? By keeping the focus on your own journey, you free yourself from the distractions of external validation and allow yourself to grow at your own pace. Resilience plays a critical role in battling your inner competitor. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt along the way. These are inevitable parts of any journey toward growth. What matters is how you respond to them. Instead of viewing failure as evidence of your limitations, see it as an opportunity to learn and improve. Resilience is about getting back up every time you fall, knowing that each attempt brings you closer to success. Another important aspect of confronting your inner competitor is cultivating self-compassion. The journey of self-improvement is not about perfection but progress. You will make mistakes, and there will be days when your inner competitor seems to win. In these moments, it's essential to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Recognize that growth is a process, and setbacks are a natural part of that process. By practicing self-compassion, you create an environment where it is safe to take risks and make mistakes which are necessary for meaningful growth. The battle with your inner competitor is ongoing. It doesn't end with a single victory or a specific achievement. It is a lifelong process of striving to be better, to push beyond your perceived limits, and to live in alignment with your values and goals. This journey requires patience, discipline, and a deep commitment to your own growth. Ultimately, the inner competitor is not an enemy to be defeated, but a challenge to be embraced. It is through this struggle that you discover your strength, resilience, and capacity for growth. The act of confronting and overcoming your inner competitor transforms not only what you achieve, but who you become in the process. It is a deeply personal journey, one that requires courage, self-awareness, and determination. But it is also one of the most rewarding endeavors you will ever undertake, as it allows you to unlock your true potential and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. Emotional discipline is a crucial but often underestimated aspect of personal growth and success. It involves the ability to understand, regulate, and channel your emotions in ways that serve your goals rather than hinder them. Emotions are powerful forces that can drive both positive and negative behavior. When left unchecked, they can lead to impulsive decisions, strained relationships, and missed opportunities. For example, reacting with anger in a heated moment might damage a meaningful connection, or succumbing to fear could prevent you from taking a risk that would lead to growth. Emotional discipline involves pausing in these moments, taking a step back, and choosing a response that aligns with your values and long-term goals. One of the key elements of emotional discipline is learning to tolerate discomfort. Emotions like fear, frustration, and sadness are an inevitable part of life, but many people go to great lengths to avoid or numb these feelings. This avoidance can manifest in unhealthy behaviors such as procrastination, overeating, or escapism through entertainment. Emotional discipline requires you to sit with these uncomfortable emotions, to acknowledge them without judgment, and to resist the urge to escape. By doing so, you build resilience and develop the capacity to face challenges head-on. Another important aspect of emotional discipline is the ability to reframe your perspective. When faced with a difficult situation, your initial emotional reaction might be negative or overwhelming. However, with practice, you can learn to view these situations through a different lens. For instance, instead of seeing failure as a personal flaw, you can interpret it as a valuable learning opportunity. Reframing allows you to shift from a reactive mindset to a proactive one, enabling you to take constructive action rather than being paralyzed by emotion. Emotional discipline also involves setting boundaries both with yourself and others. This means recognizing when certain situations, relationships, or habits are draining your emotional energy and taking steps to protect your well-being. It might involve saying no to commitments that overextend you or distancing yourself from people who consistently provoke negativity. By setting boundaries, you create an environment that supports emotional balance and allows you to focus on what truly matters. Practicing mindfulness is a powerful tool for developing emotional discipline. Mindfulness involves bringing your attention to the present moment without judgment. By cultivating this practice, you learn to observe your emotions as they arise rather than being swept away by them. This detachment allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Over time, mindfulness strengthens your ability to stay grounded and composed even in challenging situations. Emotional discipline is not about becoming stoic or unemotional. Emotions are a vital part of the human experience, and they can be a source of motivation, connection, and creativity. The goal is not to suppress your emotions, but to harness them in a way that enhances your life. For example, anger can be a powerful motivator for change when directed constructively, and fear can heighten focus and preparation when managed effectively. Emotional discipline enables you to channel these energies toward positive outcomes. Developing emotional discipline is a gradual process that requires consistent effort and practice. Start by reflecting on your emotional triggers and identifying patterns in your responses. When you notice yourself reacting impulsively, pause and ask yourself, is this reaction serving my goals? What alternative response could lead to a better outcome with time? This intentionality becomes second nature, allowing you to navigate life with greater ease and effectiveness. Emotional discipline also requires self-compassion. There will be times when you falter, when your emotions get the better of you despite your best efforts. In these moments, it's important to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Acknowledge your humanity and use these experiences as opportunities to learn and grow. Self-compassion fosters resilience, helping you to bounce back from setbacks and continue striving toward emotional mastery. Ultimately, emotional discipline is a skill that enhances every area of your life. It strengthens your relationships by enabling you to communicate more effectively and handle conflicts with grace. It boosts your productivity by helping you stay focused and motivated even in the face of frustration or doubt. And it enhances your overall well-being by reducing stress and creating a sense of inner peace. By cultivating emotional discipline, you take control of one of the most powerful forces in your life, your own emotions. You learn to navigate challenges with poise and purpose, transforming obstacles into opportunities for growth. Emotional discipline is not just a tool for achieving success, it is a pathway to living a more intentional, fulfilling, and meaningful life. The power of choice is one of the most significant forces in shaping your life. Every day you make countless decisions, some small, some large, and these choices collectively define the trajectory of your journey. While external circumstances and events may influence your path, it is your ability to choose how you respond to them that determines your ultimate outcomes. Recognizing and embracing this power is a transformative act that shifts the focus from what happens to you to what you do with what happens to you. Choice is a uniquely human privilege, and it is both a gift and a responsibility. It allows you to create meaning in your life, even in the face of adversity. No matter how challenging your circumstances, you retain the ability to choose your attitude, your actions, and your perspective. This truth is both liberating and humbling. It means that while you cannot control everything that comes your way, you always have the agency to influence how you engage with it. The power of choice begins with awareness. Often people move through life on autopilot, guided by habits, societal expectations, or the influence of others. In this state, choices are made passively without intention or reflection. To reclaim your power, you must become conscious of the decisions you make and the factors driving them. This requires asking yourself critical questions. Why am I choosing this path? What values are guiding my decision? Is this choice aligned with my goals and aspirations? By cultivating this awareness, you bring intentionality to your decisions, ensuring they reflect who you truly are and who you want to become. Every choice carries consequences, and understanding this is key to making better decisions. While it can be tempting to act based on immediate gratification or emotional impulses, the power of choice lies in your ability to consider the long-term impact of your actions. Will this decision bring you closer to your goals or pull you further away? Will it enhance your relationships or strain them? By pausing to reflect on these questions, you develop the discipline to make choices that serve your future self rather than succumbing to momentary desires. Choice is also deeply connected to personal responsibility. When you acknowledge the power of choice, you accept that you are accountable for your life. This can be a daunting realization as it removes the comfort of blaming external factors for your circumstances. However, it is also empowering as it places the control squarely in your hands. Taking responsibility for your choices means owning both your successes and your failures, learning from them, and using them as stepping stones toward growth. The power of choice extends to how you perceive and interpret the world around you. Your mindset is a choice, and it influences every aspect of your experience. For example, when faced with a setback, you can choose to see it as a failure or as an opportunity to learn and improve. This shift in perspective can transform challenges into valuable lessons and open doors to new possibilities. Similarly, choosing gratitude over resentment, optimism over despair, and resilience over defeat can radically change your quality of life. Another critical aspect of the power of choice is the ability to prioritize. Life is filled with competing demands on your time, energy, and attention, and you cannot do everything at once. Effective choice making involves deciding what matters most and focusing your efforts accordingly. This requires clarity about your values and goals, as well as the courage to say no to distractions or obligations that do not align with them. By prioritizing, you ensure that your energy is directed toward what truly matters, allowing you to achieve greater fulfillment and impact. Choice is also a dynamic process. It is not static or final, but evolves as you grow and learn. Decisions you made in the past may no longer serve you, and it is your responsibility to reassess and make new choices that reflect your current priorities and understanding. This adaptability is a hallmark of true agency, allowing you to navigate life's complexities with grace and intention. Fear often plays a significant role in the choices people make. The fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty can lead to hesitation or avoidance, causing you to miss out on opportunities for growth and fulfillment. Overcoming this fear requires courage, the willingness to act, despite the discomfort of the unknown. Each time you choose to face your fears, you strengthen your confidence and expand your capacity to take on greater challenges. The power of choice also extends to the people and environments you surround yourself with. These influences shape your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors, so choosing wisely is critical. Seek relationships that uplift and inspire you, and create environments that support your goals and well-being. These choices reinforce your ability to thrive and align your external circumstances with your internal aspirations. The power of choice is about agency, the ability to shape your life in accordance with your values, goals, and dreams. It is an act of creation, a declaration of who you are and what you stand for. By embracing this power, you take control of your narrative and chart a course that reflects your authentic self. The path may not always be easy, and mistakes are inevitable, but each choice is an opportunity to learn, grow, and move closer to the life you envision. In the end, the power of choice is what makes growth and transformation possible. It is the key to unlocking your potential and living a life of purpose and meaning. When you recognize and embrace this power, you step into a role of active participation in your own life, no longer a passive observer, but the architect of your destiny. Through conscious, intentional choices, you create a life that reflects your deepest values and aspirations, and in doing so, you realize the extraordinary power within you.